What is going on, guys? Akira here, and today I want to show you guys my Xbox 360 collection so far. Um, I know that the store is shutting down within a month. I want to say I think it's July 29, 27, something like that. So I was like, what better time to show you guys my collection? Here's the thing. I'm more of a PlayStation gamer. So, for example, um, I would play on when it was the PS4 era. I would rather play on PS4. On the Xbox 360 era, I got a 360 first, so we played more on the 360. But then later on, for example, towards like the very end of that era, the 360 Wii PS3 era, that's when I was finally able to afford and get a PS3 because I was very little by then. I was like what, like a 12-year old. You're not gonna have your own money, so you rely on your parents. So our parents got us a 360, so I grew up with that. But I would always look at the other side of the fence and be like, yo, like those exclusives, they look very good. Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank, Uncharted, Little Big Planet, Killzone, like they all look very like enticing to me. Metal Gear Solid 4. But so yeah, so I always prefer now. Obviously, even now in the PS5 era, I prefer the PS5 over the Xbox Series X. But that's not to say that Xbox doesn't have anything. Even though I prefer one console over the other, I think it's very dumb to be like a blind hater. To be like, oh, because I have this one, screw this other one. Even though you've never tried it, you have no reason to build an opinion on. I've always thought it was very dumb. I've always thought that it was more valid if you try all the different options and then be like, okay, I don't like this one because of this, I don't like this one because of that, and I like this one because of this and that. So that's me. I have all I have all the Nintendo stuff, the Xbox stuff, the PlayStation stuff. I have Sega stuff. All of them except the Master System. I have all of them, and I can per um, how do I say, analyze and and just see everything that I have and be like, okay, I prefer a PlayStation over Xbox. I prefer like Nintendo over this or that. So yeah, but anyways, enough rambling. I'm here to show you my Xbox 360 collection. It's not that big, I guess, because of the reason that I explained. Most of my stuff are on PlayStation, but it's a pretty small, decent collection. Um, I do have plans on growing it, but not by much. So, for example, I think at most I have like 5 more games I would love to get, and within when that comes, I'll do an update. Um, it'll probably be most likely after the store shuts down. Um, because I like getting more of my stuff, like physical, right? So I don't like getting stuff digitally. The only times I have stuff digitally is when it's super cheap that like this like that it's like 90% off, 75% off, where it's to the point where it's like, oh shoot, okay, I'm like saving a ton of money if I were to get it digitally. So for example, if the game is like $60 digital, I mean physical, but then digital is like a $10-15 game because of like some crazy sale. But other than that, yeah, it is my 360 collection so far. And if I ever do an update, which I most likely will later down the year, it will probably grow by like 5 games, and that's it. But here we go. I guess the first one we have I see here is Fable 3. I really like the first Fable. I haven't got much into the third one. I remember playing it when I was little. I tried to follow my brother, and I remember like when I was playing, I remember being like, "Wow, I think Fable One just felt like more of that adventure like stuff." But maybe I don't know. I haven't given it a second chance. I do want to play it, of course. But here we go. It's here, so whenever I want to play, I get to play it. Got Devil May Cry the HD collection. The Devil May Cry games on PS2 are so fun. And the reason why I have this version over the 360 version is because I happened to see this super cheap for like $3 at a thrift store, and I was like, you know what? Why not? Let me just pick it up. I mean, I don't think I'll ever see this game for like, that price. Even though it was a 360 version, I was like, yeah, whatever. I prefer playing on PS3, but let me just get it. Another one is Soul Calibur 4. I'm a very huge fan of the Soul Calibur games. And kind of like Soul Calibur 2, this one has like exclusive stuff depending on the console. So, for example, the 360 version has Yoda, meanwhile the PS3 version has Darth Vader. Um, I don't have the PS3 version, but I do want to get it. So eventually I'll have both versions. So I'm not like deprived of like the exclusive stuff. Kind of like with Soul Calibur 2, I have the GameCube version, and I want to get the because it has Link, and then eventually down the line, I want to get the PS2 and OG Xbox version. Here we have Lego Star Wars. Sorry, the complete saga. I haven't dived into the Star Wars franchise, the movies. I've seen the first movie, and I think I've seen like a few episodes of The Mandalorian, and that's because I would hang out with friends and they would have it on. So I'm like, oh, okay, this is interesting. Let me just pay attention. But I saw this for very cheap, like less than $5. I think it was like four something. So I was like, you know what, might as well. Plus, I like the Lego games. I like Lego City Undercover and Lego Jurassic World. So I was like, why not? Plus, I hear that you get the 6 episodes 1 through 6. Here we have Wall-E, another super cheap game that I got for like $3-4. I was like, I remember liking Wall-E, so yeah, I don't know if this is a good game or not. I haven't played it, and I want to, but yeah, I got it for $360. You can't go wrong with Halo 3. I've played most of the franchise, not all of it. How do I say this? I'm not like really big into FPS games. Like I play them, like I love Black Ops 2, the Killzone games, GoldenEye 007. And this one, for some reason, didn't wow me. It didn't make me be like, yo, this is the best FPS game. Or at least, when I say this, I mean like the franchise. But I do see how it's very good. It's like really good. I guess I just end up preferring like Black Ops 2, GoldenEye. But who knows? Maybe the more I play it, the more I'm gonna grow into it. I've played 1, 2, 3, and I think Reach. I'll have to see because that was when I was like younger, and I don't remember, to be honest, that much. Another one is called Import Tuner Challenge. This is a racing game. It is part of the Tokyo Extreme Racer that was on PS2. Was it ever on Dreamcast as well? I think I remember seeing one of the games on Dreamcast. But anyways, so it's part of that franchise. It's exclusive to Xbox 360, and this is a very expensive game. Good thing I happened to get it before it got too expensive. And yeah, it is, especially now the store's shutting down. It is highly sought after, and I don't think this is. I think this got delisted from the stores. It's not on the only online store. Then we have a classic, Sonic and Sega All Star Racing. I have this one also on PlayStation 3. But I got the 360 version as well because it has Banjo-Kazooie exclusive, and it also has the Xbox avatars. So obviously the PlayStation doesn't have avatars. I didn't get avatars, so I was like, you know what, it was cool. Plus this version I ended up getting for like $5. So I was like, yeah, let me try Banjo-Kazooie and the avatars, just for fun here and there. Since the PS3 version didn't have. All right, let's see. Now up we have the sequel, Sonic and All Stars Racing Transformed. I also have this on PS3, and the reason why I got it on the 360 because the Xbox One and the Series X, they're backwards compatible with some 360 games, and as you see here in the sticker, this is one of those games, and I was like, yo, this game playing it on 4K would look so beautiful, and it does, and it really does look beautiful. So I was like, yeah, I guess just for the novelty of playing it in 4K, so I can play it on the One X and on the on higher definition, higher frame rate, because it also does improve the frame rate on this one. As opposed to if I was playing this on 360 or PS3. Another one we have, for the same reason why I got it on the 360, is Midnight Club Los Angeles Complete Edition. I really wanted to get it on the PS3 because that's just what I prefer playing. I've said a few times, but I was like, you know what? I feel like this game will look so cool and run so smooth on the One X with 4K. And it really does. The performance is really good. So I was like, whatever. It's a fun game on the One X. Another one for the same exact reason. I guess this part of the stack, they're all for the same reason. DuckTales Remastered. When I went to look for this game, I was planning on the PS3 version. They didn't have it on they only had the 360 version, and I was like, oh damn, maybe I should wait. But I was like, no, you know what, I can play this on a 1X in 4K. Beautiful. So yeah. And then another thing too is that I've never like owned or played all the way through the NES version. I've only played a few levels here because I would, at a friend's house and I'll borrow the controller for a few levels. But then this one I was able to, play. I still haven't finished it though. I played through like I want to say half of it, 60% of it, something like that, and it's very fun. This is an old school platformer game. If you love this game or if you've played the NES one, I highly recommend it. If you want the physical version, I say strike now, whether it's on Xbox or PlayStation 3, because these are kind of going up on price. But if you don't care about physical and you're like, oh, okay, I'll get a digital, no difference to me, then I say get it on the Xboxlive store. Now before the store shuts down. If you only have a 360. Now if you have a 1X or a 1 or a Series X or a Series S, it's in that store, so I guess there's no rush. Next we have Mirror's Edge. Same thing. I found it for like $5. I was like, you know what? I'll get it on Xbox 360. I get to play it on the One X. So here you go. It's a very cool game. I haven't gotten far into it, but I really liked from what I played of it. And I'm excited to see it all the way through. I don't know if that's a long game or a short game. And then here we have a case only, a generic black case. But in here we have Forza Motorsport 4. What else can I say? The motorsports games, Forza is basically Xbox's version of Gran Turismo, and yeah, there's like 6 or 7 of them in the franchise for the motorsports version, and for the Horizons there are 5 of them. And I do prefer Horizon over motorsports, but either way, they're fun games. All right, and next we have Need for Speed Most Wanted. I'm gonna be honest. I used to like this game a lot, like a lot. And then I played this Most Wanted because when everybody would talk about Most Wanted and how good it was, they were talking about this version. But me, when I was younger, I thought it was about this version because I don't think I just because this is also a PS2 and an OG Xbox game, and during that era I was too young to be playing games, so like I didn't know anything about that era until like later on. Like towards the end of the 360 and like more like the middle of the 360, PS3, Wii era. I was like, whoa, there was consoles before, like there was a PS2, and I started doing research into it. But so I kind of saw a comparison that people say this one's not that as good as this one, and yeah, and then after that, when people say this plays more like a Burnout game, then I played the Burnout franchise, and I was like, oh yeah, this does. It doesn't have like the old school like Most Wanted or like the Underground vibe to it, like the feel. But it's a good game regardless. It's just I guess I started liking it less and less as time went on. And then I prefer this one. This is a very good game. So yeah, I guess Most Wanted and Most Wanted. This is a very expensive game nowadays because everybody's getting it and they're going crazy due to the store shutting down. So this is like an $80 game. See, I say 65 if you find it with no manual. I think around like 75 to 80 if you find it complete in box, especially in good condition. This one, however, is like a $5 game. You can find this like anywhere. Like I feel like a bar of Snickers costs more than this. Yeah. Here's a fun one. Naruto Rise of a Ninja. This basically plays like an action open world adventure game. Or I don't know if it's like more open world, but it's more like the areas free roam type stuff. It reminds me of like I've always said this, that this plays like a Zelda game with Naruto stuff on it. I don't know if that's like a good comparison, but that's just what I thought in mind. But yeah, I haven't gone all the way through, but I've heard because I'm watching the anime first because I don't want to get spoiled, playing the games. And I got this now, be like, oh, why didn't you just, wait to finish the anime and play this? Because this game is going up in price. So I was like, yeah, let me get it now, sit on it, on the shelf, play like a few levels. Like I played like the first, what would be the first episodes. I played the equivalent of that in this game, and I really liked it. So I was like, yeah, let me get it now because if I waited, because Naruto's so long and then Shippuden's even longer, so it's like by the time I finish it's like what, like a year and a half, 2 years from now, and this game is probably like a $100 game. Meanwhile, right now this game's sitting like at 40, is going upwards. So let me get it now. And then same thing with this one. This is the second half of the Naruto saga. This one's more expensive. This one's like 60, 70, but I managed to get it for like 35, I think. And I was like, yeah, let me get it now because I won't be able to find it any lower than this. So I got it for 35. So yeah, so you got the first half of the saga and the second half of the Naruto saga. But yeah, fun games if you're a Naruto fan. And and they're different from the Ultimate Ninja Storm because those are just mainly fighting games. Up next we have Snoopy's Grand Adventure. This is a super relaxing. It's very chill. It's a very easy game because it's more for like younger audience. Kind of like Kirby. Kirby, it's a 2D side scroller. So I kind of find the comparison very like accurate. So Kirby's a 2D platformer, side scroller, and it's not challenging or hard because it doesn't mean to be. It's more for younger audience. Obviously, anybody can enjoy it, but it's like it's easy. So this kind of reminds me of that. I know some people criticize this game because it's too easy, it's not hard, or blah blah blah. But it's like, yeah, but think about it. It's kind of like Kirby, or like I feel like the same people who would criticize this would go and play a Kirby game and then praise it, which is like, I think it's the same. It's meant to be relaxing and fun. You turn your brain off. You just side scroll. You collect your jelly beans, as you go through the 2D levels, and just have a good time. You're not supposed to stress out when you play this game. Kind of like the same philosophy I use for a Kirby game. But yeah, this game is very cheap. It's like $5 to $10 on Xbox 360. It's also on Xbox One and on Wii U. It's around that price. And on 3DS. The expensive version, the one that's getting more expensive, like 20-25, is the PS4 version. I have it on PS4 as well, but I was like, I saw it one day for like $5, and I was like, why not? I mean, even though I have it on PS4, I feel like just for the novels, it'd be cool having it on 360. But yeah, here we go, Snoopy's Grand Adventure. Then we have this game. I used to know the name of this game, but then I was like, oh, I forgot. I got too lazy to look it up. But does it say here in the English? No, whatever. If you recognize this game, this is a visual novel. I don't know anything Japanese. I got it because it was like $2 on Nyokyo, and because I did a whole Nyokyo haul, and Bai as well. And I was like, yeah, visual novels are pretty cool. I don't know what the hell they're saying, but I guess for the visual stuff and the waifus and stuff, I'll get it. It's a Japanese game, only plays on your Japanese Xbox. Me having a Japanese Xbox as well as an American one, also, I was like, yeah, I'll be able to play it. Up next, we have Fable II. I hear a lot of people that this might be the best one in the franchise. Other people say it's the first one. I know people definitely prefer this one and the first one over the third one. But yeah, I played like 5 minutes of it to test if the disc worked. It's super cool. It actually reminds me more of the first one and the third one. But maybe that's just me. I don't know if anybody else is different. But yeah. I don't know if that one's backwards compatible on Xbox One and Xbox Series X. I had to double look. And then we got Rumble Roses, Double X. This is a very expensive game. I happened to get the Japanese version because it was much cheaper, and but don't worry because it plays in English, so it's on the Xbox One X. So it translates everything to English, almost as if you're playing the American version. So it basically ended up getting the American version for cheaper. I guess I see it that way if I play it on the One X. So yeah, it's basically like wrestling with like a bunch of waifus and just have a fun time. Why not? All right, let me move this stack over here. And then up next we have almost dropped it. Dragon Ball Z Burst Limit. I'm thinking, yes, never mind. I do have it on PS3. I have it on PS3 because I ended up finding the Japanese version of it, and then I got it at 360 because I found the American version of it. So I was like, and then I guess later on I ended up finding the English version of the PS3. So I have like this version on English, then I have it on PS3 on English and on PS3 in Japanese. But either way, it didn't matter to me because they were all like $5. So it's not like I like destroyed my wallet. But now due to the 360 store shutting down, this thing is actually going up in price. I saw it in like on eBay and Mercari. I think it's like $28 average right now. So it's like it went from $5 to like 28. This thing's climbing up in price because I don't think it's definitely not available in the online store. So again, it's a fun game. It reminds me of the Budokais 1, 2, and 3, but in HD. I guess it feels like the spiritual successor to Budokai 3. So in HD, you know, from the PS2 games. Up next, we have Forza Horizon. As I said before, I prefer Horizon over the Motorsports. That's just me. And yeah, this is a lot of fun. I remember playing this a lot when I was younger, and then I recently got back into it. And yeah, I playing this on the One X on 4K, dude. So beautiful. It's like it literally looks. Oh my! It looks like one of the Forza Horizon games that came out like a year ago. Like it's this is not. If you played on the One X, it does not look like a 360 game. It looks like an Xbox One X or a Series X game. It's actually very impressive. Up next, we have Dead or Alive 4. Big fan of the Dead or Alive games. This is Japanese version. Don't worry, I also have the English version. But yeah, what else can I say? Dead or Alive fighting games. You know, the whole franchise was exclusive on Xbox around the 2000s. They were in the mid 2000s. Because by the time Dead or Alive 5 came out in like 2011, it also came out on PlayStation and then on PC. Up next, we have Dead or Alive Extreme 2. This is a sequel to the Extreme Beach volleyball game. Again, you know, just, you know, doesn't take itself too seriously. It's the Dead or Alive girls in bikinis and at the beach, you know, playing volleyball, jet ski, frisbee, all that stuff. Tug of war in the pool. But yeah, the Japanese version, I also have the English version. Then we have Onen Chambara. It's called Onen Chambara Zombie Bikini Squad, I think is a full name. Only on Xbox 360. And the sequel, also for Xbox 360. This is backwards compatible on the Series X, and it plays, and just like the Rumble Roses game, it plays on English. So it's like it downloads when you put in the disc, it downloads the American version of it. So that's pretty cool. But if I put it on the 360, it only plays the Japanese. So I always played on the One X. And then this one, this is not backwards compatible on the One X. So, yeah. Up next, we have Galgun. I think this is also on the PS3. And it's on the Switch as well. But on the 360 version, only came out in Japan. So if I was to get so in America, there's only on the PS3, PS4, Switch. But in Japan, they had a 360 version. But yeah, this is like super cheap as well. So yeah, it's a on-rail shooter with and you basically shoot like Cupid the anime girls because they're trying to go after you, and you're trying to avoid them, which is it's a dumb quirky idea. But yeah, super cool. We have Dream Sea Club. This is only on Xbox 360, but then a year later it came out on PS3. And this is more of like a how do I say this? A visual novel, and then there are parts that are kind of like a dancing rhythm simulation game. I don't know how you would say that, but yeah. I say yeah, if you're into those type of games, get it. Then we have Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Raging Blast. Sorry, I was gonna say Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Raging Blast. I know it shows the Japanese version, but this is the English disc. Yeah, because I managed to get the English. I hunt down the English version of the game, and then I sold the Japanese version of the game because I want to play this on with English text when it comes to the menus and all that stuff. And then we have FIFA Soccer 2010, the Japanese version, but if you can select the languages. All the FIFA games, I think you can select the languages. So just when I play the game, I just click English. Okay, now this other stack right here. It's crazy how I say I don't have many 360 games. It's one of my smaller collections, but it kind of feels a lot. So I guess it's like, man, do I have like a lot of PS3, PS4, PS2 games? Which is crazy. Will probably be like an hour-long video. Okay, here we go. We have Automedia's Excellent. This was made by the creators of Gradius. This is basically a 2D side-scroller shoot-'em-up game. But this one, I guess the quirk with it is with like anime waifus. So if you're into that stuff, basically Gradius with anime girls. It's super cool. This game is actually going up in price, so I would say yeah, get it strike now before it gets too expensive. It's also in the digital store. I don't know if this is delisted because I hear that Microsoft or I don't know if it's Microsoft or maybe the publishers, they delist games. There's always one game being delisted every day from the Xbox Live Store. I guess up to the point where the store, the 360 Live Store, shuts down. So I say ASAP, run and get this game, physical or digital. And yeah, it brings the manual, so it's super cool. All right. Up next we have a Lollipop Chainsaw. This is a very cool zombie slasher game. Basically, this girl on her birthday, zombies attacked, and yeah, she has a cheerleader outfit, and you just go in and just slice stuff up. This is also on PS3, and recently, like I want to say on Summer Game Fest or within that week, they announced that this is being remastered on modern consoles, on PS5 and Switch. I don't know if it's being remastered on Xbox Series X, because Xbox kind of has not been good these past few years. Definitely their golden age was the 360 era. But I know for sure it's definitely coming on PS5 and Switch, the remaster. So I'll definitely be getting it on PS5 as well. Then we have the original Saints Row. I really like Saints Row 3. I've also gotten far into Saints Row 4, and I've played a bit of Saints Row 2, and then I've also played a bit of Saints Row 1. This is a 360 exclusive, believe it or not. It's not on PS3 because this came out in 05. And that time, the only HD console at that time was the 360. Because the PS3 came out in 06. Then we have the English version of Dead or Alive 4 and the English version of Dead or Alive Extreme 2, which is the sequel to Extreme Beach Volleyball. Then here we have this super cool collector's edition that I got on Yokio of Muv-Luv and Muv-Luv 2. And it also has the action figure of the girl right here. But yeah, I don't know if you guys can see it. Maybe from this angle. But yeah, so it's super cool. But yeah, there you go. I guess I'm not really that much into collector's editions when it comes to Xbox stuff. Since most of my favorite franchises, because I only get collector's editions to stuff I really like the franchises I'm really into, and then most of them are on PlayStation or Nintendo. And then if they do have an Xbox version, I would prefer to get it. Like for example, Sonic's on everywhere, but I prefer playing Sonic on like PlayStation. It's just preference. And now the final stack. Forza Motorsports 4. I don't like that it's on this ugly GameStop case, but eventually I'll probably go on eBay and buy a regular case for Forza Motorsports 2. Did I say 4? I meant 2, sorry. Forza's Motorsport 3. Just like that. Just keep going up in the franchise. I heard that Motorsports 3 is a lot of people's favorite. I don't know how much better it is from the other ones. Maybe I'll find out once I get through the whole game. Then we have Project Gotham Racing 4. I know that Project Gotham Racing 3 was a launch title for the 360. But yeah, this is exclusive. It sucks that the Project Gotham Racing games, they kind of phased out and replaced with the Forza games. But yeah, Project Gotham Racing 4. 1 and 2 are on OG Xbox, 3 and 4 are on 360. It's not backwards compatible with Xbox One X or the Series X. I kind of wish it was. It would have been super cool. Okay, here we go. Need for Speed Carbon. A lot of people say this is the last good Need for Speed game. People say Need for Speed peaked with Most Wanted, the 05 version, not the 2012 version. So like people say like Hot Pursuit 2 was good on PS2, then the Underground and Underground 2 on PS2 were like up there, like it was Rise, and then peaked on Most Wanted. It went down on Carbon. People said it was the last good one, and then after that just like Pro Street and Shift and The Run and Undercover and Payback and blah blah blah, whatever the other ones came after, it was just. So people say it was the last good, and I kind of agree. It has that street vibe, JDM vibe. It's the last one that has that vibe, to be honest. But yeah, Need for Speed Carbon on 360, super fun. I think it's a true sequel to Most Wanted because the story follows right after. Up next, we have a Sega Dreamcast collection. This is a very peculiar game because I've always wondered why was it exclusive to 360 and not on PS3. But I don't know. I don't think I've apparently like there was a PS3 version planned, but I personally don't know the answer to that question. I'm sure it's like on Google somewhere. But yeah, Sega Dreamcast collection. Dreamcast is one of my favorite consoles. I typically love a lot of Sega stuff, a lot of their consoles. Like I like the Genesis, the Saturn, the Dreamcast. But just Dreamcast games, they just have that arcadey feel that just makes it a lot of fun. So when I found out there was a collection, I was like super excited. But I was like, damn, only 4 games? Oh well. And yeah, and we have here is Sega Bass Fishing, Sonic Adventure. Let me see if I can zoom in for you guys. Space Channel 5 Part 2, and Crazy Taxi. If you get this on Steam, it includes 3 more games. It adds Sonic Adventure 2, Jet Set Radio, and then it has Nights into Dreams, which is weird because Nights into Dreams is a Saturn game, not a Dreamcast game. But it just throws it in there, so I guess. But yeah, super fun if you're into the Sega Dreamcast. It also plays on Xbox One. And here it says, the Dreamcast is back in a must-have collection. Sonic Adventure, Crazy Taxi, Space Channel 5, and Sega Bass Fishing. But yeah, also I will say this is going up on price because all these games have been delisted off the digital store except Sonic. So a lot of people are getting it and it's going up. So I say hurry. Because it's like you can't get Space Channel 5 Part 2 or Crazy Taxi or this one. But yeah, I say hurry up and get it. Now we have Sonic 06 on the Xbox 360 version. I also have this on PS3. I ended up getting a 360 version because I heard that it runs better. The game actually performs better than the 360, even though the PS3 is more powerful. So I was like, wow, okay, I'm interested. Let me see how much better it runs. And then I found it for $5, and I was like, okay, now it's now or never because this game won't get any cheaper. And it's actually going up in price, believe it or not. But yeah, I know this game is very infamous. But yeah, Sonic 06 on 360. I do feel a load time, especially if you install the 360. If you install the game into the hard drive and then play it through the hard drive, the load times are quicker. I haven't noticed any on the performance issue. I haven't noticed any upgrades or any significant upgrades. Maybe it's just I'm not too good at telling. But the most noticeable thing, at least for me, was the load times. That it does run better in the 360. Sonic Generations. I also have this on the PS3. But like some of the games that I showed earlier, this is also backwards compatible on the One and on the Series. And I'm like, okay, I need to find this game, the 360 version, because most of my childhood I played the PS3 version of Sonic Generations. So I was like, okay, I need to find this game on 360, pop it in the One X, so I can play it in 4K. And then I found it super cheap. I put it in 4K, and I was like, wow, this looks like a game that would have come out like in the current generation when I play. So I was like, wow. So then I started hoping for a remaster on PS5 and Series X, because I was like, yeah, dude, it's like this playing this on a One X, 4K proved to me that this game will look beautiful. But then hold and behold, we have Sonic X Shadow Generation. So I guess dream come true. Next, we continue our Sega/Sonic Gauntlet and Sonic Unleashed. Just like Sonic Generations, same exact thing. Plays on the One X, 4K, beautiful. I grew up with the PS3 version. Then I found that it does that with the 360 on the One X, 4K. So I was like, okay, even though I already have it on the PS3, let me go hunt it on the 360. Found it for super cheap. Popped it in on the One X, 4K, beautiful. So same exact sample with Sonic Generations. Unlike Sonic Generations, we don't have confirmed remaster on the PS5 and the One X and the Switch, but hopefully, Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. This basically has over 40 classic Sega Genesis games, and it says right here, relive your glory with Sega Genesis with over 40 classic games. So yeah, this is also on PS3. I have also on PS3 because I found both of these like for like $2, $3. I think I want to say it was like $3.40 something. So I was like, you know what, let me get on 360 and on PS3. And then I got the 360 version because I wanted to try it out and see if it plays on the One X and 4K, but it doesn't. So I was like, whatever, no huge loss. I mean, it was only like $3-4. So yeah, so I also have it on PS3. Up next we have Sega Superstar Tennis, and then this comes with a 2-in-1 game, as you can see here, with the Xbox Live Arcade compilation disc. So I also have this on the PS3, and I have it on the Wii. I have it on the Wii because I wanted to play with the motion controls, because I'm like, why not? Plus, it's a cheap game, so it's not like I'm like, losing a ton of. I'm not losing a lot. And then I have it on PS3 because that's what I played on mostly. And then I found out that the 360 version comes with the Xbox Live Arcade compilation disc. So I was like, okay, let me also get in the 360 because I also want to have the compilation disc so I can have, the Xbox Live Arcade games like on a physical disc, whenever the store shuts down, and funny enough, the store is shutting down. So I guess my hunch was right. So yeah, just like for the most of them, I always play II. That's my boy right there, Super Monkey Ball. And like mostly in the Sega All-Star type games, I always love playing at II. So yeah, so I remember this game I played a lot on PS3. I've also played the 360 version. It feels nice with the 360 controller. But yeah, I say get it. It's a very fun game if you're looking for like a simple sports tennis game, and if you like some of the Sega characters, and even if you don't like the Sega characters, I just think it's a fun game. Kind of like Mario Tennis. Up next, we have beautiful Katamari, only on Xbox 360. From the Katamari Damacy games on PS2. This one's only on 360, and it's backwards compatible with the One and the Series X, and it looks beautiful in 4K. So I highly recommend to get it. It's going up in price. But if you can't, if you can't find it physically because it's too expensive for you, don't worry. It's on the Xbox Series X and the Xbox One online store, and over there it's like a $15 game. So I highly recommend. Like, please play this game. It's so fun. It's so cool. You can turn off your brain and just play. And then last but not least, we have the game that I've sunk the most hours on the Xbox 360. And this is bringing me a lot of nostalgia playing it, especially because during the 360 era, like I said earlier, I was mostly looking, the grass is greener on the other side of the fence, with the PS3 stuff. But then every time I play this, I was like, okay, I'm so happy there's also, a multiplayer game on 360 and PS3. And I sunk tons and tons and tons of hours into it. Dragon Ball Raging Blast 2. This playing this online, playing this with a 360 controller, so cool. Unfortunately, all my save data, all my achievements, everything I've unlocked, are on my brother's account, because that's what I used to play. And then when I eventually made my own account, you can't transfer it, so it's like, I have to start all over again. But I also have this game on PS3, and I've made tons of progress in the PS3 version, so I don't think I'll ever do that ever again on my Xbox account with this game, because it's redundant, and I'm like catching up to how it was my original save state on my brother's account. I'm catching up, doing that, unlocking everything on the PS3, so I guess this will never this will never be touched. Like, I'll never put in the disc on this and play it on the 360 because I'm doing that on the PS3. But yeah, also another reason on the PS3 version I have the original one with the Kenya Yamamoto soundtrack. This one has a replacement soundtrack which is not as good. So I guess that's another reason why I'm just gonna keep playing the PS3 version of this game from now on. But yeah, looking at this game brings a smile to my face, I guess, as you can notice, because yeah, this was what I played all the time. Super cool. Weirdly enough, I don't think I put it in my top 10 360 games because I consider this more on PS3 because that's what I'm playing more recently. But yeah, awesome, super cool game. Yeah. Other than that, I think that's it. And then I have the English version, the Japanese. What did I show? The Japanese, the English version, whatever. I have two versions of Sonic of the Sega Dreamcast collection. I think one of them is the Asian version, and one was the Japanese, the American version. But same thing, Sonic, Dreamcast games compilation. Yeah, other than that, this is just my collection. Before the store shuts down, it's so sad to see because it's like, we're losing a piece of history and game preservation. But yeah, I'll probably make an update on this after the 360 store shuts down, like towards the end of 20, not towards the end of 2014, but towards like the third quarter of 2014. I mean 2024. I'm my brain. Um, because yeah, I think I only have like five more games that I really want to get for the 360. Um, which one of them is like the Project Gotham Racing 3, Ridge Racer 6. Both of those games are 360 exclusive and also 360 launch titles. And then I think after that I want to get one of the Blaze Blue games, like the earlier ones. I think it's Calamity Trigger because that one they say plays better on on 360, and then the later ones ended up playing better on PS3. Um, and then I think those three and like maybe one or two more exclusives because that's why I mostly go for exclusives. Because the multiplats, I prefer like the multiplats, which means the games that were also on multiple platforms. I prefer playing on PS3. But I think yeah, I got like 3, 4, 5, 360 games. Then I get more. So my library's not gonna grow by much. But yeah. Other than that, I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think? Which game out of these is your favorite? Do you have all these games? I'm sure other people who are into 360 a lot, they have a way bigger collection than me because most of the stuff that if you didn't see a pinnacle 360 game and you're like, oh my god, where's that game? Where's that game? I most likely have it on 99% of the chance I have it on PS3 instead of 360. So like the Call of Duties, the Battlefields, the Red Dead Redemption, Mass Effect, stuff Portal 2, all that stuff I have on PS3. But yeah, other than that, guys, what do you guys think? What do you guys think of the 360? Do you guys grow up with this? I grew up with this console. And yeah, I really like it. I don't know if I would put it in my top. Actually, I feel like I would put it in my top 10. I do say I do prefer the OG Xbox, but maybe that's just because I like Sega, and most Sega was very influencing on that console. But other than that, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later. Peace.